So look, it looks like Tory Lanez is going to do the entire 10 years after finally losing his appeal.
Oh my God, what happened?
So this one is pretty wild because now I've been following this story from the beginning. So if you want to know why people think that Tory Lanez is innocent, there's a lot of reasons why. Now, first of all, the only eyewitness account that we have, like they have on tape, is of a guy who saw the entire thing happen. And his story is that he saw two girls fight, and then one girl shoot at another girl. That's the only eyewitness account. Megan Thee Stallion, when the police come there, she lies to the police. That's what she says. Or is on camera saying, Tory Lanez didn't shoot me, right? My boyfriend didn't shoot me, whatever. Fast forward, Megan Thee Stallion goes on the interview, says that I never had sex with Tory Lanez. Then goes in court and then says, I had sex with Tory Lanez. And you know what I'm saying? So,
oh, Lord.
Then we find out his DNA wasn't on the gun. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And so 3 or 4 other people's was, but his wasn't. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so all of these things added up. And also on top of all of that, one thing I have said from the beginning of this case that a lot of people don't understand is Tory Lanez was the first-time offender. His crime was essentially, it wasn't necessarily non-violent, but put it like this. He got violent enhancements put on his case that is only put on the cases of the most violent offenders. So someone maybe getting a ricochet to the foot is nowhere near that. It's people murdering people who didn't get enhancements that he got.
They added extras.
He's max should have got like 2 to 4 years. So that's also the reason why he felt comfortable fighting it, because he thought that if he lost, he'd only be facing like 2 to 5, not fucking 10 years. So the enhancements that they added on him literally made no sense. They literally don't make any sense. So we've been hearing all the news about his team trying to do appeals, and people thought that he had a good chance. There was big press releases. His dad came out, was talking about all these things. We had another person come out who was the bodyguard of Chelsea, which was the girl who supposedly was the best friend that shot Megan Thee Stallion, right? The bodyguard of Chelsea during the trial, who was with her during the trial, right? At the end when she popped up, came out and said that he heard her tell her husband that she was the one that shot Meg. So he came forward. So we have all of these things, right? That are,
It's just mismatched. Everything's mismatched.
We even had, I think, a senator or like a congresswoman, somebody else. So he had everybody trying to get this man out, right? So they put the appeal in, and it was looking like our boy might actually come home, or at least and then also he got stabbed up. So he almost dies in jail, gets stabbed a gazillion times, almost dies in jail. People really thinking that, hey, they gonna commute his sentence, let him out. He wasn't supposed to be, he's already done 4 years, like he'd be getting out.
I was gonna say, this is old. Like, how long he been in there?
Well, Meg Thee Stallion was determined to keep his ass in there. So this is exactly what has happened and the reason why we won't see our boy Tory Lanez anytime soon. So there were a few arguments that were specific in this appeal that he was trying to use in order to get him out of jail. Now, the surprising thing is a lot of the things that I just told you about, all of these crazy
extra
issues that are around the case that came out in court that still ended up with him getting a conviction. With all of that being said, none of those things are in here. So this is all new stuff. Well, all things that you probably wouldn't think would be the things that he's trying to use to get thrown out. But a lot of times with these appeals, it's more about the technicalities these that they can use, not the facts that you think you have.
Yes.
Right? It's about what you can prove in court or whatever they can use to get you out. So this is one of the appeal arguments that they addressed. They had a shirtless photo of him. Well, Tory argued that showing Exhibit 18, which was a photo of him shirtless after the arrest, revealing a gun tattoo on his chest, created prejudice. He claimed this created an unfair image for the jury. The court rejected this, stating that the photo was only used to identify who was swabbed for the gunshot residue at the police station. The prosecution never suggested gang affiliation or ties. Megan testified that they had emerged from a swimming pool, explaining why Tory wasn't wearing a t-shirt when arrested, which I guess makes it so that they didn't try to paint him like a gangster. That's what they tried to say. The next issue was the testimony / lyrics issue. Tory claimed he was discouraged from testifying because the judge said prosecutors could admit his music lyrics into evidence. Tory argued this violated his rights to defend himself. The appellate court said Tory mischaracterized the entire record. The actual ruling showed the judge said lyrics could potentially be reviewed on a case-by-case basis if Tory took the stand, but it wasn't a blanket threat. The judge initially said he would exclude evidence of prior acts of violence given the current state of evidence. So again, Tory tried to claim that the judge leaned on him or gave him some, told him that, hey, if you testify that I'm gonna go through all your music and use all that. And the court is saying that essentially that was bullshit. That's not what happened. And then here go. Now this is something we talked about, right? The DNA evidence. So DNA testing of the gun revealed a profile of at least 4 people. Tory was neither, so this is what they say. They say that he was neither excluded or included, but there was a 99% chance that it wasn't him.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the way they addressed it. So it's like, they can't
rule it out.
They're saying it, but like there's a 99% chance that it wasn't him. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah,
and basically it could be anybody on earth. Like, you know what I'm saying? So essentially. And again, which is crazy because if he shot the gun 5 times, you would think that his DNA would be on it, right?
Or he would have, don't they do
gunshot residue as well.
Right.
Well, I think they never swabbed him that night. That was another thing too.
And why not?
Oh wait, I think
why not?
They may or may not. I can't remember. There was a thing, but I can't remember.
Because if they didn't, that's telling too.
I can't remember that part of it because that was a thing, but I can't remember the details around it, so I won't say.
I will say real quick, going back to the things that they're trying to deny, like the details that they're trying to attack to defend him. I get what they're saying. Like, you're saying I'm showing a picture to the jury to identify him. Why? There's a million pictures.
Well, they were saying the pictures of him that night arrested. He didn't have a shirt on.
You can block out the tattoo. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't understand how our mind is so susceptible to subliminal cues.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And then you talking about using the lyrics. And you know what I'm saying? Like, these are lyrics that he wrote just as an artist. Not as someone that, should be put on trial.
Well, I don't even think, to that point, I don't think that even happened. To be honest, that line sounded like a stretch when he said it. Because what lyrics could they pull? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't got no lyrics about shooting her.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't think that that's realistic. But that's what I'm saying. I think they threw it in there. Of course, their job is to try everything because they don't know what's going to work.
Right.
So, they're just looking because only one of these got a hit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So they're going to pull every bullshit that they can. So whether or not it's something that was relevant, is neither here nor there almost for them. They're going to pull whatever. That's their job. They're doing their job.
Well, and they might not have any specific lyrics specific to Megan, but maybe he's talking about you know what I'm saying? Like, they can take his old lyrics from, like, when rappers talk about
it has to be
and now they're using it in court against their wives.
But it has to be relevant to the case. And so I guess they could bring in just his gangster lyrics in general and be like trying to paint him in a picture. Maybe that's what he was afraid of. So I do get that, but again, the judge was essentially saying that that's not what he meant and that's not what he said. At least that's what he's saying. And then of course,
I don't think it should be used like that.
Yeah. So we don't know again what actually happened in the courtroom. We don't have the transcript, but I do. Now I ain't gonna lie, that all sounds like a stretch. I think more so the gun residue not having the effect that I thought it would have on the case.
I was gonna say, I don't understand. Like, when you shoot, you got gun residue.
And this other thing again, the DNA testing of the magazine revealed at least 4 people's DNA on it. Tory was not one of the people on the magazine. But one thing that I heard from the people that were reporting on the story when they were actually going through it in court was that, one thing that hurt him was he didn't take the stand. And if he had taken the stand and defended himself directly or put it directly on Chelsea, then he would have probably gotten out. But because he didn't say nothing, he wouldn't admit to it, then
weakened the case.
Exactly. And
Did she take the stand?
Who, Megan?
No,
Chelsea. Yeah, Chelsea came right at the end and had another she's a whole another weird story. And then, so they give her like a deal, right? Mm-hmm. But then she goes on the stand and then says that she didn't shoot Meg, but she doesn't say he shot her. Just, you know what I'm saying? But he doesn't, but pleads the fifth. No, she pleads the fifth on the stand. She pleads the fifth on the stand, but they gave her a deal. And so that was like a whole nother weird ass thing that happened. So like, why would you give her a deal?
But yes. I don't know who it was.
Yes, and so why would you give her a deal? And also, again, that was the other thing. Last thing. So the other big thing that hit the case that was crazy that his dad said, and we have this on tape. They have the guy on tape, the only eyewitness that was there, saying that he saw a girl shoot at a girl, right? They have him talking to the police that night. He was supposed to come into court, right? He was supposed to be the bombshell witness for the prosecution. He gets there, the defense takes him to, bombshell witness for the defense. He gets there, the prosecution takes him into a back room, comes out, changes his whole story. Hits the stand, and it's so, and changes his story so much that Tory Lanez, the defense, has to ask for the judge to treat him as a hostile witness. But wait, listen, he was their witness.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Why did they have the chance to take him?
He got there. They just called him into a room.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy. Like, who was not on their job? Because that's your man. You got.
Well, I mean, even with that, it's like I don't think they expected him to spin like that. And then he hits the courtroom and then turns hostile. I don't think they knew what to do at that point. So then at that point you're scrambling. That's the guy who's supposed to seal the case for you almost. So I think that they were spun. But either
he probably was. But why wouldn't what legal process allowed that?
I don't think that there's anything. The lawyers, the lawyers have a right, I believe, to meet with the witness ahead of time. Okay. I believe as well. Yeah, okay. So I believe that they were just exercising that right. But yeah, so let us know what you think in the comments. Is this the end of Tory Lanez? I think this really is the end. I don't think they can file another appeal. They may be able to, of course, if they can, other than him getting a pardon, which again, I don't think is necessarily off the table. I don't think we're gonna see Tory Lanez before the end of this 10 years. So unfortunately, Tory Lanez is locked up. If I don't know if you're team Meg or team Tory, let us know what you think in the comments. But yeah,